Your thoughts you cannot do so much about. That's what you think. In reality, you can do everything about them. You can decide, come on, that's bullshit. I'm getting up right now, getting to the computer and start working. The next thought is going to be, I can wait another 10 minutes, just have a cup of coffee. And that is when you have to tell yourself, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do it now. And I continue. After a couple of minutes, you say to yourself, oh shit, I can't find out what to do. I've forgotten most of it. I don't know how it belongs together and I can't get started all over again. And in reality, what happens? You want to put everything down and you don't do anything. You just lie down again. That's where you go wrong. Okay, we are insecure. And we have this insecurity most of our life. Yeah? And it's, no matter what we are trying to do, yeah, we are getting better and better and better, but we never get rid of it completely. There's always this feeling of the overhanging doom, of guilt feelings, what have I done wrong now again, and they're going to find out about me, and all that bullshit. It's not anything else but bullshit, honestly. But whenever we have a very high sensibility or sensitivity, then it means that all those symptoms, those different symptoms, they're coming up more and more and more. And they are adjusted to our situation at the moment. When people make tests about ADHD, they very often look back 30 years ago or 20 years ago and say, no, I'm not like that anymore. I'm not like that anymore. And they forget to read the instructions. Write what you are today. Make your test according to who you are today. Then it becomes a totally different one because you develop everything, also the ADHD. Now, in the ADHD, we have, amongst many other things, we have the negative things that we are so scared of failing many times. And this brings out so much negative energy in us. And this negative energy obviously makes us also react stronger and stronger and stronger. We have to work up positive energy by looking at ourselves, looking at all the good stuff we're doing, not all the bad one. Everybody does bad and good. And if anybody who comes here, if I ask anybody here about, tell me, what is your best stuff? Yeah? Or what do you remember most? Or what is most important about your life? Most of them will start with the negatives. Most of them will start with negative things. I'm not so good at that. I'm not so good at that. And yeah. And then at the end, when I say, okay, now you come out with positive. I'm a good friend. Nice. Very good. What more? But when I ask, tell me about the negative. Oh, I do that wrong and that wrong and that wrong and that wrong and so on. So it's not very nice to listen to them. There are other things also, and that is, amongst other, when you're looking around you, why are people so negative? Look around. They go around, have faces like that, or hanging down with their lips, with their mouths, and staring angry at each other like, who the hell are you? And Why do people do that? You're a marketing guy, Chris. This woman who went there. If you wanted to help her to make marketing for herself, what would you say?
I put forward my business in the most positive way possible.
I would say, if I was a marketing guy, I would say, smile. Let your eyes smile. You see so often interviews on the television where there is a big smile, and the moment the guy turns around, the face falls down again, and he's probably looking for it down on the floor. We ADHD, we have often such inferiority feelings. Yeah? So we are much more aware of how we look, what we are doing, what we are saying, and we are much more aware of that we can be losers, terrible losers. And that makes, amongst others, our friend here who has been writing to you, makes him look at himself and say, if I start now, I'm gonna fail. Whatever I do right now is shit. I'm not gonna make it right. Why?
And that's based on what? Like a built-up perception of themselves of being failing.
Yeah.
They reinforce it in their minds.
They build it up from the very beginning. You see, that is also a thing. When we are out here, we are all the time like a mirror. The way we look into other people's face, that's the way they look back. Where was I right before? I'm an ADHD, I forget things.
So you're explaining about the inferiority comes back up, and it's because that the mind has reinforced it over time, constantly thinking negative.
It doesn't need to be over time. It can be you have a bad day. If you look at the biological rhythms, you have, like everybody else in the world, from the day we are born, we have biological rhythms that go up and down, up and down, up and down. And you have the physical one, you have the mental one, you have the feeling one, the physical. I said that already. Intellectual. That's probably because I don't have so much of it. Okay. No, but all those have different rhythms. And they show when all of them are down. Then you have a shitty time. Then you can have a whole 3-4 days where you just feel like I want to jump out and try to learn how to fly from the 27th floor. Now, you feel like I can't talk to people because I won't remember what I'm going to say. I can't do this, I can't do that. And then you come to a conclusion, you're a failure. You're nothing but a failure. So when you then say to yourself, but I have to do that, then the brain says, why the hell should I do it? I'm going to fail in any way. And you get angry. But what do you get angry at? At other people? You get angry at the computer? You get angry at your wife, your husband, whatever. But you get angry because the other thing you cannot grasp. You cannot do anything about it. Your thoughts you cannot do so much about. That's what you think. In reality, you can do everything about them. You can decide, come on, that's bullshit. I'm getting up right now, getting to the computer and start working. The next thought is going to be, I can wait another 10 minutes, just have a cup of coffee. And that is when you have to tell yourself, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do it now. And I continue. After a couple of minutes, you say to yourself, oh shit, I can't find out what to do. I've forgotten most of it. I don't know how it belongs together, and I can't get started all over again. And in reality, what happens? You want to put everything down. the computer, against the wall, or out of the window. You have so many beautiful ideas, thoughts. And you don't do anything. You just lie down again. That's where you go wrong.
So can you explain the importance? You always say, if you're ADHD, and like most people anyway, when you want to do something, you have to do it now, and it can't drag on. Can you go into that, why and how it works?
It's so simple because our brain, when you're ADHD especially, then you have millions of thoughts. Yeah. So when you start thinking about what you have to do, you already have other thoughts in your mind. And those thoughts, they don't help you. Because they get you away from what you have to do and make what you have to do to something boring and irritating.
Something that someone was extremely passionate about in the beginning turns into like a nightmare that doesn't end.
It's like my third book, The Fuengirola Teens. The third book is The Cave of Underobis. And it's following 5 juveniles, what they experience. And it's exciting. But in the third book, I got to about page 250. I don't know what happened then. I started painting again. I started writing about something totally different. I helped a doctorate in Denmark to fulfill his things, her things. I did a lot of different things, but I did not do anything about my book. So half a year later, or 8-9 months later, I obviously found out, shit, I haven't done anything about my book. So I sit down, open the book on the internet, and start looking at the last page, 245. I look there and say, what the hell is it I'm writing about? I go 10 pages back, 235. I don't remember who this person is I'm writing about. I go down to 200. Haven't got a clue. So I go down to the synapses and just look at the synapses. Aha, that's the person and that's the person. But what are they doing in the book? So I have to start more or less from the beginning, reading it all. And after page 40, reading page 40, I was fed up. So I didn't do anything more. Then another day I wrote to page 70, but then I had forgotten the first 20 pages again, and so on. And those are the stories also my ADHD patients tell me. And every time they tell me, I think, oh God, I didn't think anybody could be as nuts as I am. But they are. A lot of them. So what I would tell you, guy, there, is whatever you are doing, think about yourself as the person who has to be put on the market as something attractive. How do you put somebody on a market being attractive? What is it people are looking for? What does this guy have or this woman have? What can they show up and what can they do so that people say, wow? Huh? And that's the way you start working yourself in again. More and more and more. And at the end, you are somewhere where you say, okay, now I start recognizing the guy as somebody I would like to know. That it is yourself. It's totally irrelevant. But this guy is somebody I would like to know. And this guy is somebody I would like to be. And when you come to this, then you probably already have a big smile on your face. Yeah? Then you can start working on that. Okay, this guy I want to be. How should he handle this situation? very simple. He could do this, that, and so on. So why the hell don't I do it? I can do it. I'm damn good at doing it. So why not starting it now and going on until I have come to a point where I say, okay, now I can say, this is enough. I've done enough. Now I can just put it down, rest. Let it rest maybe 4, 5, 6 hours before you get to it again. Read it again, this passage that you've been writing. Maybe change something and then go on with writing more. But don't let it go. When the idea comes of, I can't do it, I don't want to do it, I'm a lazy bugger. Say to yourself, yes, I'm a lazy bugger, but I'm not allowed to do it. I'm going on with my job now.